Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
100%. I think you might be louder than I am, and that is hard to do.
Oh, I'm very loud. Like
I love it.
Just as a person, I'm loud.
I love it because she's 4 times louder than me on a given day. It's great. It's great.
And my kids are loud too. And everybody, I'm like, why are y'all so loud? Everybody's looking at me like, hello, you're their mother.
You're like, girl, have you met yourself?
Yeah, when our old producer told me, he was like, you are literally 4 times louder than the normal person. I was like, yes, that's my goal in life, to be the loudest person.
You know, right. No one can ever say they didn't hear you like you heard me.
Yeah, right?
Side.
There's sometimes where my husband will just be like, huh? And I'm like, there is no way you did not hear me.
Oh, I just get down right now. So I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you heard me. Don't be acting like you didn't hear me.
Loud as shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to bring us in. We'll talk for a little bit and then we'll let you know when to start talking. All right. So welcome back, OSLP family. You are listening to our Sleeve Life podcast. I'm Kelly.
This is Mel.
And we have the most exciting person for an interview today.
Yes.
Her Instagram handle is tt.vsg.
That's right.
And we love watching her.
Oh my goodness. I was so stoked when she reached out to us because I was like, oh, I've been watching her for a little while.
Yeah. Since we started our Instagram, I think she was one of our first follows.
I think maybe.
And we are so stoked to learn more about her. I mean, she's got a fabulous Instagram. She's so supportive. The side-by-sides, man.
Amazing. And her style and vibe, I just was like, hell yeah, dude.
Yes.
Like, you got it.
Yes.
Like, you're in this shit. You can see, like, she's serious. Like, she's all in.
Correct. So. And if you do nothing but go check out her side-by-sides, it is worth it because they're fucking amazing. She has killed her journey so far. And we are excited to welcome tt.vsg. Yeah. So let's start this off by tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Hey. Hello, everybody. tt.vsg. My name is Terry. People call me Terry TT, mostly T. I am from Maryland, which we call that the DMV, but I'm from Maryland, born and raised in Maryland. I'm 33 years old. I will be 34 December 18th. So I am a fiery Sag. It fits me completely. I am a Sagittarius down to the T. And as I stated before, obviously this is a VSG podcast. So I have vertical sleeve gastrectomy April 10th, 2019. And I have been living my brand new best life ever since.
Yeah. I didn't realize how close you were to my date.
Yeah.
Because I was April 25th.
Really? So we're like surgery twins.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at least month. The April surgery twins.
Yes.
And, Kedrick off of Sleep Believe the Hype. We actually had
I love you, Kedrick. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, right?
we love him.
He's great. We actually he had surgery the day before I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what, not to cut you guys off, but I love how we're like all a community. Like we could have a family reunion.
Oh,
we're all
100.
Oh, yes. Like we cannot wait to be able to tour and like meet everybody and have like you said, a family reunion because that's what we're a family.
Like, we're all so close knit. Like it's like I tell people all the time, like the VSG community is the best community to be a part of. And it's like a virtual family. Like, hey girl, how you doing? Yeah.
Exactly. And we lift everybody up. And that's what I love.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I feel like for me, like I needed this because like I didn't realize this existed because I'm 5 years out. So like this is insane. Yeah, like I didn't realize there's actually a family of people that care about you, that want you to succeed. Like, they're not a bunch of fucking haters that live around you that are like jerks all the time and being rude.
Right.
And I think it's easier.
Haters.
Yeah, exactly.
100.
I feel like sometimes with your friends and family that are, you know, in real life or, you know, that you see on a daily basis, like it's hard for them to sometimes understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Whereas the VSG community really understands.
Yeah.
They know what you're going through and they know that it's not an easy process. And so it's easier to relate, I think, sometimes.
Yes.
versus somebody that you see more often. So
right. Because I feel like, I mean, people outside of the VSG community, like they don't understand like the mental changes you go through, the emotional portion of losing, half of yourself. That there's an emotional side to that. And they're like, why are you complaining? Like you're skinny now. And it's like, yeah, but there's other things that come along with that. So I feel like in our community, like I can talk to you and you'll be like, girl, I know exactly what you're talking about. And you just don't feel like, so alone or isolated. So I wish we could just like all go to Vegas and cut up and act crazy.
Yes, let's do it. We'll have to
we can have a convention there.
Yeah,
we'll just all hang out.
Do a convention and we'll have everybody fly in and we'll just have a big party.
Big bariatric party.
Yeah. Awesome. With lots of wine.
Why do I love that though? Like BB, big bariatric party.
That's like, right.
Yes.
See, we already got
BBP.
Tagged. There you go.
Yeah. BBP. The OSLP presents the BBP.
Yeah, we might have to get back on that. We got to see what we can do after the Rona clears.
The Rona,
right? Oh God, Rona. I'm so over it. I'm so over it already. I can't believe it's almost been a year.
Pretty much, it's almost been a year, and everybody's like, "Oh, like the numbers are so bad," and I'm like, but the numbers are bad when it first started, and thank God he has kept coronavirus away from me.
You're right.
So I just still do what I always do. If I have to go out, I'm masked up. I'm like cleaning off my hands all the time, like just being precautious, So
yeah, that's the thing. Don't be reckless. Like
don't be reckless.
Because how have you dealt with having weight loss surgery and dealing with Rona? Because I didn't have to deal with that shit.
No.
Yeah. I'm dealing with like depression now because of it, but I couldn't imagine being like a year and a half in and dealing with Rona. Like,
yeah. It's a lot. Well, thankfully I'm very disciplined with my food choices, so I'm not like leaning on food really. Okay. But I mean, just being locked up in the house, it's a lot. Like right before Corona started, I really started to try to start like a workout regimen. I was going to the gym. I was outside working out, like just to tone up. And as soon as Corona came, I was just like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And like completely stopped doing that, So that's where it's kind of, knocked me off a little bit, but
yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like I've fallen off such a regimented workout because I mean, I was doing yoga every single morning and then I keep getting sick with stupid freaking bronchitis and sinus infection. So that doesn't help. But
right. And then everybody's looking at you like, girl.
Oh my gosh. So I just got back from Florida, right? We went to Disney World and Universal Studios. And every time I cough, because I still have the barky cough from bronchitis, I was like, I don't have Rona. I don't have the Rona. Like, I just got tested. I know for sure. But it's like you have to explain yourself if you're coughing, if you're sniffling, if you say you have a headache. Like,
it's a whole new judgment.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Coughing is a major offense. Like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like, okay.
You're like, get away from me right now.
Get away from
some people do have sinuses. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. You're like, you still have allergies. Slow your roll.
Slow your roll. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, exactly. So so let's go back to the beginning of your story. And
where does it begin? Like, is it childhood? Is it your like, in your teens?
Yeah.
So as far as like my weight and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, your whole thing.
So all my life, I've pretty much been like bigger than everybody else. Even at my smallest, when I was like in middle school and stuff, I was still like a big girl. I was still heftier and bigger than everyone else, even though I would love to be that size now.
Right.
But I was always pretty much bigger than my peers. And of course, that at that time, would make me feel away. I didn't realize that I was different really until one day I came to school and I had on like a cute little outfit. I thought that I looked the absolute best. My mom had bought me a cute little outfit at Kmart. Like I'm switching in school, like, woo, what's up? And my principal pulled me to the side and she was like, I mean, of course I was larger, so I was developed in middle school, like everything. And my principal pulled me to the side and she was just like, you just remind me of me. You just have way too much body and you shouldn't be wearing things like that. And, it's just unacceptable. And then that's when I really started to realize, like, wow, I'm a little different than other people.
Yeah.
And that just followed me through high school. Like, I had this one boyfriend in high school that I was like so in love with. And he used to only talk to me outside of school. I would see, he was a football player. I would see him in school and I'll be like, hey, it's me, your girlfriend.
And what a dick.
I know, right? And he would be like, he would ignore me. So one day after school, I was like, how come you don't talk to me in school? We're on the phone all night. How come you don't talk to me in school? And he was just like, well, you're kind of bigger than all the other girls in the school. And, like my friends and stuff, like they feel a way about that. They make fun of me about that. So I would just, rather just keep what we have under wraps. And I was like, oh, toodaloo.
Yeah.
So that would pretty much be where like issues with my weight started. Even though I was smaller then, but as I had children and being a single mom and going through depression with that, my weight just continued to pile on. But even still, I will say that I was like in denial about it. And people always ask, like, how are you in denial about you being 323 pounds? I'm like, no, I didn't see myself like that. Like, I pretty much,
anymore.
Right. I don't see it. I pretty much blocked it out of my mind.
Yeah, that's what I tell people, because I've been big all my life too. So like, when I hit 308 was my top, and I was like, I didn't realize I was even in 300 pounds. I was like, no fucking way. Now your brain just goes, bloop, no more. Like, you can't. You can't see it. You have no idea.
You have no idea. And I say, like, when people ask me, like, oh, well, what made you want to have VSG? I tell the story when I took my son to an amusement park, and I've never been on a roller coaster ever, right? So my son was like, I want to go on a roller coaster, and I was like, all right, we're going to conquer this fear together. You and I, we're going to get on this roller coaster. So I go get on the roller coaster, girl, and I try to sit down. And I can't even fit in the seat, nor can the little the thing, like the lock that comes down. It wouldn't even go down. So I'm looking at the operator like, what's up? Why can't I fit in the seat? And she's like, we'll keep trying. So we keep trying. And she's like, ma'am, I'm sorry. You can't fit. So you won't be able to ride the ride.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Yeah. I was completely flabbergasted, knowing that I'm 323 pounds, knowing that I'm obese. I was like, what do you mean I can't fit? Like, where's her manager? Because she doesn't know what she's talking about. So it's just, you kind of just, for me, I would look in the mirror and just be like, this is who I am. This is who I am. I might as well learn to like it. I might as well dress it up real pretty, to make everybody around me feel that I was so confident and bubbly and loving myself. But deep inside, it was a struggle every day.
Yeah. That sounds so familiar.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember getting up and like, because I was so sick all the time because of my autoimmune diseases. And it was so hard for me to even get out of bed, much less like exercise. It was hard for me to do anything. And I remember sitting at my vanity and just doing my makeup because it was the only thing I could do without feeling like shit. And I would go out and I'd be like, oh, I look so good. Like, I feel good about myself. And then I would see pictures and I'm like, it just, the makeup doesn't change.
No.
Like, the fact that I look like shit. Like, and I noticed like I had gained a lot of weight in a very short amount of time. And so it was very hard to be able to like think that I looked good, but then when you look back, you're like,
And people take pictures of you, like those pictures are the real pictures. Like, cause when you take your own pictures, your angles,
Yep.
But when people take picture of you, it's like, oh, bitch, you got me fucked up. Oh, can I curse?
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. 100%.
Oh, okay. When people take
pictures,
yes. Like, bitch, you got me fucked up. Like, you think you're gonna post this? Don't tag me in that shit. Like, when you finally, like, there's so many pictures that I have that really was like a shell shock to me. I was like, this is what I look like. Oh, wow.
For reals, this girl over here has some like crazy hidden gems that I was like, where the fuck did you take that photo at? Like, I don't even remember that photo.
Yep.
I don't remember being even that person looking like that. Like, it's so like crazy.
But it snaps your brain back into place, I think, sometimes. To look at that and be like, thank God I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, it's like, oh fuck, like I'm not there anymore, but don't go back. Like, you need to keep this shit
that
under
reminder.
control. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I am so glad I took so many pictures.
Seriously.
Me
I
too.
didn't take any.
For side by sides. Yeah, you didn't take anything. No, we
no, I was like 100% like ashamed. That's not happening.
Yeah.
But see, the only reason why I did is because my physician told me to. He was like, take a lot of pictures because it's going to come to a point where you lose all of this weight. And sometimes you may not even feel it or see it, you know? So he was like, you're going to want to have these pictures to look back to really see where you've come from, because we're blind. Our eyes are blind to ourselves. We look at ourselves every single day and we don't even, you know, just like one of my best friends was at my house yesterday and she was like, bitch, you are so small. And I was like, really? And she was like, yes. Like, she was like, literally, I saw you 2 months ago. You're smaller than you were 2 months ago. And I'm like, really? You know, we wake up, we see ourselves and we're just like, okay, hey girl, have a good day. Like, you don't even think about it. So taking those pictures really helps me on my days where I'm just like, I don't even see it. I'll look back and I'm like, wow, I have come a long way. You know, and it just helps me to just stay on path. Like, okay, I'm going to eat a kale salad versus eating Thanksgiving leftovers.
Right? Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. I didn't get my Thanksgiving this year. We were in Universal. So I was like, I'm okay with giving up. I ate a lot of shit this last week. So I'm paying for it. It is okay. It's okay to balance it out with some not so good stuff and some good stuff.
Yeah. Right.
When you were talking about pictures that other people took of you, it flashed me back to one of my friends. I was over there and her kid was taking pictures and she had taken a photo of me. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? Because it was like low angle from a kid's point of view.
Why would you ever try me?
Right? Yeah. And I saw it. I almost deleted it and I kept it. This was before I decided on BSG. But I remember, like, I go back to that photo all the time because I'm like, I can hold the phone down low and I'm good now.
The
but
before, different right, exactly.
Not so much. It was always up. You would see photos. Yep, exactly. Yes. You would see photos of me going like this because I would be telling my husband, go up with the phone. And so he would snap photos and you would see my finger. So
that's funny.
Angles are a big deal.
Angles are a big deal. But see, now when you're, you know, in your slimmer body and everything, you're feeling good. Like you can take a picture from here, and be like, oh, okay, I'm okay. I'm actually skinny now. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I only have one chin. It's crazy.
I only have one chin. That's great. Yeah.
I love that non-scale victory. So what was the surgery center that you went to?
So my surgery was covered through my insurance. Kaiser Permanente is the insurance that I have. So I only had a $5 copayment, thank God, because if it was more than that, I don't know what to tell you guys. We probably wouldn't even be here. So I only had a $5 copayment. I did have to go through like a 6-month process of like nutritionist and just screening my health all together to make sure that I would make it through the surgery. I didn't have to lose any weight prior to surgery, but I did. I ended up losing 50 pounds prior to surgery. Wow. Just going off of what my, nutritionist would advise me to do. I just couldn't gain any weight. So, it was through my insurance. I just called my doctor one day and I was like, and this is back to being in denial. I called my doctor one day and I was like, hey, I'm really thinking about joining the bariatric program. And I'm like, I know I don't really need it because I'm not that big, but I just think that it would be a good idea. And she was like, yeah, so I'm just going to put the referral in for you.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Because what was your highest weight?
My highest weight was 323 pounds.
23.
Okay. And you've lost 126?
Yes.
Okay. Damn. Yeah, that is a crazy amount of weight.
Crazy. So I don't want to do the math. What weight are you at?
Well, because I've been saying 126 like without really doing the calculations, but right now I weigh 196 pounds.
Nice. That's amazing.
So my goal is like 180. My goal was 180. But now I feel like it'll be more so like 170 because I want to keep like, my fluffiness a little bit, some curves.
Yeah.
Not that is, possible. It's not like you can say I only want to lose weight here. You never know how it happens. But
yeah,
I think 170 is good for me. I'm a tall girl. I'm 5'7".
Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah, 158. But yeah, so 170, 180 is good for me.
I feel like that's a good range. And I feel like, because I dropped down to 141 and then I've kind of, it was crazy. Like going from 265 to 141, I never in a million years expected that. I was like, I'll be happy if I get under 200. And then it was like, bloop.
Yep.
But I got down to 141 and then I kind of shot back up to 150 range. And I feel better at 151 than I did at 141.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, you could get down to 170 and then you're like, I like 180, you know?
Right.
It can always change.
I think that 180 will be good for me. You know, when I first started this journey, like as far, because I'm honestly, I don't weigh myself like that. Only because I know that the scale is not a good depiction of how much weight you've lost or how well you're doing. Because girl, the scale will lie to you and have you all fucked up for the whole day. Yeah. And it's not even true. So I don't really weigh myself. What matters to me is how my clothes fit. I know if something isn't fitting right, I'm like, okay, girl, you may have been eating a little bit too much. But when I first started, I was in a size 22 in jeans. Wow. And my goal was like a size 16. I was like, if I get to a size 16, I'll be like the bomb. So then I got to a 16. I was like, okay, girl, well, maybe a 14. So then I got to a 14. I was like, oh my God, what? Maybe a 12. I got to a 12 and now I'm in a 9. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And
that is crazy. And even still, when I go into the store, I look at the clothes and I'm like, you know, now because of COVID, I can't try anything on, which is pissing me.
Right.
So it's like shopping is so stressful for me. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm a 9. Like I'm going to buy a 12. I'm going to buy a 14. It's just like, it's so much mental that goes along with it because your mind is so used to you being in a larger size. And it's like your mind catches up after your body has after you've lost all the weight physically.
Well, even then it takes forever. Cause like I'm like I said, 5 years plus now. Cause like, my 6 years in May.
Yeah. So
like literally that still happens. I still think I'm bigger. Yeah. I'm still going to the bigger section and my husband's like, Melanie, stop it. You're over here. Yeah. I was like, no, I'm over there. And he's like, no, you're fucking not. Stop. Because the deal is like, I know why I do it now is more comfortability because I know if I put it on, it'll fit.
Yeah.
No matter what, you know, like, you know, that's going to fit you now. But no, because I'm a large in everything and I'm in 10, 12. So it's like, and then that drives me nuts because being in the betweeners, then there is some that fit you and some that don't. So I still get that mind fuck of like, oh, you gained weight, but you really haven't. It's just
because all fucking sizing is fucked. Like,
period.
Every single size or every single brand is different and it's stupid. It's different. It should all be the same.
I fucking hate
I'm a 9 in some things, but I'm not a 9 in everything.
Right.
You know? So it really just depends. And I feel like 9, 10 is a very popular size because sometimes I go some places and 9, 10 is not even an option.
Yeah.
Like when I go to like Ross or Burlington, I'm like, okay, so we just go straight to 12. Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and it like when you go to Marshall's or TJ Maxx or something like that, and you're looking through some of the sizing, you have to be careful because some of it's like junior.
Yeah.
And so it goes down. Like it fits different than like women's. It's just dumb. It should all be the same.
It's just dumb. That's pretty much how you can explain it. Just dumb.
It's just dumb.
Oh my God, you two are hilarious.
It's just dumb.
Well, really and trying things on is like your ultimate key to knowing, and you can't fucking try anything on right now.
And I'm not even trying to be, listen, I will be so ghetto and be like, look, I'm about to put this dress on in front of this mirror that y'all have in the store because first of all, I can't try on anything. And then you don't want me to return anything because of COVID. What do you think I am? No,
I will try when they're like, oh, you can't try it on here, but feel free to bring it back. And I'm like, what the fuck do you think? Like, what? I'm still gonna infect it with COVID.
Exactly.
Like, either
One
way.
time I asked the lady, I was like, look, I need to use the dressing room. Like, how much can I pay you? Like, this manager here? Can I slip you a little 20 so I can go on here real quick? She was like, no. It's like, okay, whatever.
I literally will just strip down in the middle of the store and try things on. I don't really care. I'm like, if I need to know right then, I will do it right then. Like,
right. And it's like, you guys don't know my struggle. You don't know that I was once 323 pounds. You don't know that I'm 190. You don't know that I have absolutely no idea what size clothes I wear. Please just let me try.
I know. And I don't want to order things online because what if they come and they don't fit?
Yeah, you still go through that mind fuck of it cannot fit. Yeah.
Because I'll look at stuff and it's like, seriously, this is not going to fit. This is not going to fit. And then I come home, try it on, and I'm like, oh.
No, it fits.
It fits.
As
long as I just bought my birthday dress, because my birthday, I said my birthday is December 18th, so I bought a birthday dress.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the model, and like models wearing a size 10. And I'm like, okay, well, she's skinny as hell. So maybe I should go up to a 12. And I'm just like so stressed because what if I get the dress and it doesn't fit? So I'll order 2 in a size 10 and 12. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be able to return it. So it's just, but I'm not complaining. I'm happy.
Yes.
I will say
it's the struggles
that they actually like. She is probably a 10, but they're totally like curving her. Like, that 10 will probably still fit you.
I pray that it does because it's like the best dress. And don't worry, I'll be like posting and everything.
I was gonna say,
and it's my first time getting on an airplane, y'all. Like I've never.
Where are you going?
Whoa!
I'm going to Dallas.
Okay.
But it's my first time getting on an airplane. And I said in my story, some of my reasoning for not getting on an airplane is because of my weight. Like that was something that was very scary for me. And also because I was a mom. By the time I was 22, I was like a mom, like 10 toes down, didn't have anybody really around supporting me. So the opportunity never presented itself. And then when it did, when I got older, I was larger and I was like, yeah, I'm not about to get on this plane. And they tell me I need to get a bigger seat. So a lot of phobias came into that, but I'm so ready and I am going to like vlog it because I don't know how many 30-year-olds haven't been on the airplane, but I am one of them.
That's awesome.
I think I was 27 the first time I got onto a plane. So, I mean, yeah, because my family didn't go on like airplane vacations.
Right. Mine either. We went on like road trips.
Yeah. Well, and even that was
an hour away.
Yeah, like an hour away. That was what we did. So yeah, airplanes were a new thing. But I remember at my top weight being like almost to that seatbelt extender. Like I was almost to that point. And so when the first time you get on an airplane and you can like cinch it all the way, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? That changed.
Right. So many different things are like non-scale victories, like crossing your legs or taking a picture and realizing that you don't have a double chin, or just so many things just remind you, like there's so many things in your life that just randomly be like, wow, I have come a long way. Just like little things to kind of push you. Because I mean, every day, I always say every day is not glitter, unicorns, and rainbows. You have your moments. But I'm definitely like blessed and excited that I have this platform to share my story with and just kind of encourage people. You know, I had no idea that I was going to be here, but I'm happy that I am. And I'm happy that I'm encouraging people. I'm happy I'm on your podcast.
Yeah. So, that's what's so exciting about doing this is that we get to meet so many different people that we wouldn't have ever probably talked if it wasn't for this platform. So that makes us so incredibly happy to be, you know, an inspiration or a support or anything for the people that listen. So
where are you guys located?
We're in Salem, Oregon.
Oh, Oregon. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a nice state. I like it.
You like it.
I like it. I like how pretty it is.
Yes. I mean, you have to pay with all the rain, but you guys get a lot of rain too, right?
We get a lot of rain.
Yeah.
We get snow.
Yeah. So you get all the seasons too then.
We get all the seasons. I hate like snow. I hate snow. I don't drive in snow. I don't care. Like it could be an inch on the ground. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to work today.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
I'll do it. But if I'll like have that knot in the stomach the whole time.
I had to warn my boss. I'm like, if it snows, I will not be here.
Yeah, period. I'm not paying either. I'm not risking my life. Sorry.
No, I've driven once in the snow and I was in an SUV and I was stopped and I started sliding to the side of the road. After that, nope, I don't do this.
Yeah, I don't even give it. Like it snowed and I was at work and I was stuck at work and I was like, I'll call my dad. And my manager was like, you're like mid-30s, your dad's going to come and get you. I'm like, and he will.
100%. Yes.
100%. He will come and get me because I do not play the snow. I don't play with the snow. The snow doesn't play with me.
No.
I love it.
So what's your favorite non-scale victory so far?
Hold on. We need to get a little back.
Oh, okay.
We need to back the truck up a little bit.
Back the truck up?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you like to back up to?
Pretty far. Because she said that she had her surgery at Kaiser Permanente.
We got talking.
So I wanted to get us a little back on track of just like you made the phone call to that doctor, and they're like, we're referring you.
Yes.
And then kind of like what happened after that?
Okay, so just because I got the referral does not mean that I went. Okay, I made several appointments and was a no-show.
Wow.
Just scared, not knowing what to think. And what pushed me to actually go to the appointment was the story that I told about the roller coaster. So I went to my first appointment and I was like, I met so many people. I mean, people who were like 500 pounds, 600 pounds, everything. And I just connected with so many people and just realized like, hey, we're all here for the same thing. They went over basically like the first couple of sessions is basically like an info session. Oh. They basically try to scare the hell out of you to see if you are even like going to meet the requirements, to see if you're serious about this. Like they're like, oh, you can't drink. Oh, you can't smoke. Oh, you can't do this, you know? And a lot of people were like, what? I can't smoke. Yeah, I'm done. Or I can't drink. Yeah, I'm done. So they don't want to like have, you know, go through all of this and give you the surgery and then you fail miserably. So I went to a couple of those and I was just like, yeah, I'm still going to do it because at the place that I was in my life, I was in an unfulfilling relationship. And I just wasn't happy. And I'm like, I'm so ready for a change. Something has got to give. So I went to my info sessions and then I started meeting with a nutritionist. And it's so crazy because like being a grown adult, like I didn't even necessarily know like all of my food groups. Like I know that sounds crazy, like, but I knew what some foods were, but some things I'm like, oh, that's a starch. Oh, that's a carb. Like,
yep.
I'm learning.
Do you remember which ones got you?
I think this is so crazy. I think it was corn. I was like, oh, that's a vegetable, but it's a starch. Like, what do you mean? You know, so learning how to eat, I don't think I would be this successful in my journey if I did not go through that 6-month process, teaching me how foods affect your body. So I went through those. I had to have a sleep apnea test, which I did have sleep apnea. I was a terrible snorer.
Oh no.
Terrible, like calling hogs. Like the person that I was in a relationship at the time, he would be like, yeah, I'm sleeping in the living room because I can't even sleep.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. So I had to wear my CPAP machine. You have to be compliant. That's a part of your insurance. In order to be approved for the surgery, you have to be 70% compliant with your CPAP machine. That's Kaiser. I don't know any other insurance. So I did that. I had to go through a psychological examination to make sure that I could withstand the surgery. I'd be able to follow directions. You know, I wouldn't fall into a deep depression, things like that. And that was, of course, blood work and like EKGs and stuff like that. That was pretty much it. But I'm really thankful for that 6-month time period because it really helped me. It kind of just set the tone. Because by the time you can eat again, for me, by the time I could eat again, I wasn't even interested in eating how I used to eat because I had trained myself to eat this new way.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, then they did it right. Yeah. Like that sounds like a good program.
It does. Did you have any other health issues like diabetes or anything like that? Or was it just a CPAP?
No, I didn't. I didn't have any. My only issue was sleep apnea.
Yeah.
So you got it before. Issue.
Yes, before. And I mean, I knew that I had something because I was like, girl, I would wake up in the middle of the night like,
oh no.
But I didn't know, what it was. It was like my mom snores, it's hereditary. But yeah, the only thing that I had was sleep apnea. I didn't have diabetes yet. Now, if I didn't have the surgery, I'm pretty sure I would have been there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's like with me because when they did all my testing, only thing I met was the BMI because I didn't have any health problems. And the sleep apnea wasn't a thing either. So they're like, well, I mean, you're 44% whatever. So this will do. Right. But yeah, they're like, thank God you're doing this though, because you definitely will have diabetes, heart disease, high cholesterol. Like I was on the way.
Exactly.
Like,
on the way. And even though things weren't like diagnosed, like my body, like my knees were non-existent. I don't even know why I had them, because they were always hurting. Like it was just, I like to take road trips. I have family in South Carolina, so every summer I go to South Carolina. Thanksgiving I go to North Carolina, and like those long car drives would just kill me. I would have to get up and walk around. I had plantar, I don't even know how to say it. It's like
plantar fasciitis.
Thank you, girl, because I'd be like, I have plantar fasciitis. Okay. Yeah, I had that thing, and that was painful. As soon as I would get up, like my feet couldn't even touch the ground because it hurt so much. And all of that was weight related.
Yeah. As soon as you lose the weight,
it goes away. And it's funny how we all, like when you said it, I'm like, oh, I just thought it's hereditary. That's what I thought with all of the problems that are in my family. They were like, oh, it's just hereditary. It's just hereditary. I'm like, no, maybe it's the fucking food and the alcohol and cigarettes you're smoking. Like, people forget literally what you put in your body is what you're going to get. So why are we so surprised that I have like a fat ass because I had so many like Big Macs? Like, look at the Big Mac. Is it lean?
No.
That is not what you would call lean meat. Yeah. Oh, why do we need the extra piece of bread?
Why do we need that extra? McDonald's is dead wrong. They know what they're doing. They're killing us all.
My favorite was the club sandwich, just anywhere where we go. And it always has that extra bread. And it's like, that's not even necessary.
No. You need 2 pieces of bread to make a sandwich, not the third.
Like, Jesus, I don't know what the hell I was doing to myself.
Just add an extra piece of cheese in there.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
And I was a bread lover. I had to have bread with every meal.
Ditto.
I
bread
love bread.
Or pasta.
Or pasta. Oh, my. Yes. Yeah, I had to have bread with every meal. Pasta with every meal, like pasta all the time. Like when I think about how I used to eat, it's just like, wow. Like sometimes I used to I like to cook. So I would post my plates and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that was my plate. And I was probably going for seconds after that big ass plate.
Oh, yes. Yes. There's a couple of them where I would have like as big a size as my husband, which he's 6'4", works long hours. So he eats more than I do. Totally. Even before surgery. And I would have the same amount plus go back for seconds. And I'm like, how? I always think that I eat too much. And then when I think back to that, I'm like, no, I'm fine.
No. Yeah, sometimes now I get nervous. Like, oh my God, I ate so much. But it's not even that. Like, even if I make a larger plate than normal, I'm eating off of that one plate all day. And I have to remind myself, like, it's okay. Like, you didn't just eat this in one sitting and like you're going back. Like, this took you all day to eat. So it's okay.
That one fucks with me all the time because that's what I do. And I'll be like, it's because I feel like I'm eating too much because I'm eating I'm just the hand to mouth thing is happening way more. So I'm thinking that I'm eating more than I actually am, but it's the same plate all fucking day.
Yeah.
All day.
And you know what now bothers me is those old photos that pop up of like, where you make the good like Thanksgiving dinner or you do like the Super Bowl stuff, like all the food that you put out, all the photos that I would take of the food.
Yeah.
I really, like, that's not necessary. Like, look at all that.
It's so crazy how you view that now. Like I was out with like a couple of friends. They weren't my friends. They were friends of friends. I was invited. And I was out and it's like when you're in it, you don't realize that you have a food addiction. You just think that you like to eat, like, whatever. And the whole time they were talking about like how they didn't eat all day, how they were so excited to be here, how they're going to eat everything on the menu. And like me now being aware that, I had a food addiction at that time, I'm just sitting there listening like, oh, wow. Like, do you guys even know like that you have a food addiction? Like, it's just in anything, educating yourself in anything, whatever the topic is, like it is just, it can change your world.
Oh, it definitely.
Research just goes, like even a little bit of research goes a long way.
Yeah.
It's just take the time to learn about yourself and you realize, oh, there's a reason why I do all of these things.
Oh yeah. Yes,
like,
definitely.
There's direct correlations. It's insane. Like the whole like wanting bread and the carbs and stuff, because that's just hitting your neurotransmitters that make you happy. Yeah. Like certain foods do that on purpose. Like cheese is like crack. Like it's not.
Oh yeah.
It's so bad. It lights it up so much, your frontal lobe, that you're just like, I need to eat more. I need to feel so good.
Sugar and carbs, man.
Sugar too. Sugar is crack too.
No, it's just legal crack. That's exactly what it is.
At this point, we should be snorting it. I mean, it's pretty much, the same thing. And I realized that when I was in my 6-month program, I'm like, okay, I was a sweet tea girl, like I'm a country girl at heart. I love McDonald's sweet tea girl. I would go every day, like McDonald's sweet tea. So when I started my 6-month program, I was like, yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm going to get an unsweetened tea and 2 Splendas. And they're like, the lady at McDonald's knew me by name, girl, to the point. And she was like, okay. So I get the sweet tea and I put the 2 Splendas in it and I taste it. And I'm like, this tastes like fertilizer. I thought that I loved tea. You love sugar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the pounds and pounds of sugar that they're putting in there, that's what you like. You don't like the tea per se.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, wow, like if I put 2, I think I maybe put 3 Splendas. I'm like, if I put 3 Splendas in here and it still tastes like horse manure, imagine how much sugar they're really putting in that tea to make it taste how it tastes.
Have you ever looked at the back of a cranberry juice?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's probably
so
crazy.
much sugar.
It's like half the bottle. Like if you actually just stand at the bottle, it's like takes up the whole bottom. It's so much sugar because cranberries are very bitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually like unsweetened cranberry juice. I'm weird. I like the tart.
Yeah.
We're definitely one time.
Yeah.
Seriously, because I had to take, you do like, so this is a side story of cranberry juice. I unfortunately only had it with vodka. That's all I had was with my.
That's the best way to have it. What do you mean?
Right. And so I had a UTI and they tell you to drink cranberry juice. And I was drinking it and I looked at my husband like, why does this taste like shit? And he goes, because there's no vodka in it. And I was like, oh shit. Oh my God. I never had it without vodka. This is so stupid.
That's awesome. I love it.
So that's my cranberry juice story.
Yeah. Cranberry juice is delish. Let me ask you guys. Oh wait, sorry. For the podcast, is it going to be visual? Are they going to see us?
But only on our Patreon.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like in the kitchen taking chicken out the stove. Okay, that's fine.
I know you're good. You're good.
Yeah, do your thing.
All right, so let's go to a break.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going on to a break.
Okay.
And now we're back from the break.
And now we're back.
All right. So as we're talking about our addiction to sugar, and that's something that you really picked up on in your 6-month program. What did you do any other therapy or did you just do one session?
I just did. Well, okay, so I just did the one therapy session to be approved for the surgery, but actually afterwards, like when I went through like my breakup, my separation and moving and everything, I started to go to therapy after that.
And you find that it was very helpful with your eating? Or was it more for like mental?
It was just more for mental. It was more for mental at that time because it was like, such a big change. I had been with someone for 6 years. I was moving on. So it was just for that. And thankfully, like with all those life changes, my eating habits did not change. I was just like so hell bent on being a healthier me. It wasn't even like about how I looked. I just wanted to be healthy. I wanted to run around with my kids. I wanted to play basketball with my kids. I wanted to go to Sky Zone and actually enjoy myself versus just give me your coats, kids, have fun.
Yeah. So you want to join in.
You want to play. You want to play around and be a lively person. It's not fun sitting on the sidelines all the time.
So. Exactly.
So who went with you to the surgery center? Like, did you have some family support system with you? Yes,
I had my sister. I had my sister Temperance. I had my best friend Sade, and that was it.
Awesome.
So were they the only two that knew about it, or were you more open?
So I really kept my surgery a hush hush. I did mention to my family that it was something that I was interested in doing, but they had no idea that I was going through the program. Like, I really did not tell them until like 2 days before surgery, only because I know at that time it was very easy for me to be swayed. Okay. So I was, I just didn't want, because they're my family, they love me. Of course, they would have concerns. Like, any surgery is major. So I just didn't want to be swayed by their opinions or their worries. So I just called them 2 days before and was like, hey, I'm having surgery. I've been approved. I'm having surgery. And I mean, they were all like, okay, girl, like, do what you gotta do.
Nice. Awesome. Nice. And they're still supportive of you, and they understand.
Still supportive. Okay. They understand. They're like, oh my God, you look so good all the time. Like, and I'm always like trying to push them with challenges. Like, hey guys, we're gonna do this challenge. We're gonna do that challenge. Trying to, get everybody like eating healthier. So I have, like, as far as my family, like my sisters, my dad, my mom, I have a really, really good support system.
Awesome. That's what you need. You have to have a stable support system.
It goes a long way.
It does.
So, and even with like, my friend, like, just having people who really push you and don't let you fall off, because sometimes you're like falling off and you don't even notice it. You're like living your best life and don't even notice that, you're eating differently. You're not working out like you used to. So just always having someone there that's going to hold you accountable, and kind of like push you, not trying to judge you, but just seeing your potential, knowing what you can be, knowing what you want for yourself, and just pushing you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what Melanie is. I mean, that's what we do for each other.
Yeah, 100%.
And for everybody that follows us on, Instagram or listens, like, we really try to be that support, but also be like, reality check time, bitch, because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Yeah, because she yelled at me today.
I did. So. Because she's like, yeah, I haven't had any water yet. And I'm all, Melody Rosalind Austin, you get, which Austin is not her last name anymore, but I will forever call her an Austin. And I'm like, you need to get your shit together and drink your fucking water, because
of course water is important. And I can't even talk because I don't even I'm getting back on my water. You saw I posted my little challenge. I'm getting back on my water intake. But I struggle with that too.
And water is so hard. I don't know why water is so hard.
Like, that's why we do these challenges, because if I didn't have a challenge, I probably would just fall off the end every months, I need something. And so, like, we're doing push-ups and we got water and we got our protein, because
those are the three important.
Those are three things, and you just gotta sleep. Like, that's the right one. You have to get your sleep. It's so important.
I am awful at that.
Yeah.
She is. I yell at her.
I go to bed at 10 and then I'm up at like 2. Like,
right.
I don't know.
Go the fuck to bed, Kelly.
And I do. And I sleep solidly for like 4 hours and then I'm awake. I don't know.
And then you're awake for like the rest of the morning, or you fall back asleep?
No, I usually take a nap when my husband gets home from work at about 11. So,
but yeah, girl, you gotta sleep through the night.
I know. And I've even started taking THC, like the gummies.
Yeah.
I take a sleeping pill. I don't know.
See, I wish. One thing about me, I'm going to go to sleep. After this podcast, I'm going to sleep.
Oh, I'm going to eat. I'm going to go to sleep. It's going to be great.
I'll go home. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So you have surgery, family's there. How did that morning feel? Or maybe like that morning, just like when you woke up.
So when I woke up, I literally felt like I got hit by a Mack truck. Like, I was so irritated, like in so much pain. Now my surgeon, I'm gonna have to, girl, he's so fine, y'all. His name is Dr. Prashar. And he's like a no nonsense type of guy. Like, he's funny, great bedside manner, but he does not play. So when he came to get me out of my waiting room where I was waiting, I was so nervous because everything just went so fast. Like, hold on, like my lashes, like, give me a second. So I get into the surgery room and they're just like laying me on this table, stripping me naked. I'm like, y'all not gonna put me to sleep before y'all do all this? Y'all just gonna let me experience all of this? And they're like, yeah, girl, you're fine. I'm like, well, what about my boobs? Because they're all hanging to the side. Like, how? They were like, girl, we're gonna tape you up. You were gonna be fine. So he was like, you have to walk to the surgery room. He's like, I don't care. I'm not putting you on a stretcher. You are going to walk to the surgery room. So we did that. And then afterwards, yes, I felt like I was standing on a train track and I allowed 2 trains to hit me. I was in a lot of pain. It was just like a lot of pressure because of the anesthesia, a lot of pressure on my chest. I felt like I couldn't talk. I felt out of breath. It was bad. And then I like yelled at the nurse because I was like, I just want to go to sleep. Like, all these people that's in my room, tell them to leave. I want to go to sleep. And she was like, I was like, can you bring my bed? And she was like, oh, they didn't tell you? I was like, they didn't tell me what? Yeah. And she was like, oh, you can't lay down because you have so much gas in your stomach because how they do it. So she was like, we'll give you a recliner, which was barely a recliner, if I could be honest. Like, we give you a recliner and you can like recline, but also we're going to be waking you up every 2 hours to walk around. So basically you're not going to sleep. I was like, okay. I need you in my room and give me like 5 minutes because I'm really about to lose it. But
like,
it
I'm
was
gonna
great.
have a temper tantrum right now.
I'm about to really go off on y'all in here. But it was great. Like, the walking around helped me move that gas around because that's the most painful part when you come out of surgery. Like, getting rid of gas.
You had a lot of gas pain too, right? No, you didn't really have any.
Yeah, I just had like literally my left side hurt for weeks. That was my problem. Yeah.
But like, she had a bigger incision.
Yeah, mine was pretty big because she moved out my liver and then, or she did the liver retractor thingy.
Yeah, because Melanie didn't have to do a liver shrinking diet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
so good. Yeah, she only had to not eat for 24 hours.
Oh, well, lucky you. Girl, I had to do a liver shrinking diet for 2 weeks.
Yeah, she did too.
You and me both.
Yeah.
That seems to be the new norm, is 2 weeks prior.
It's just Dr. Patterson because my brother got VSG almost a month ago and she didn't do it.
Oh, that's right.
It's just her technique. She's like, I feel like I'm humane. I just don't make him do it. We can do it without
him. That's dope.
I think it kind of sets, but I feel like I'm kind of grateful for the 2-week diet because it kind of set myself up for, you're going to be drinking all liquids after.
Yeah, afterwards. Exactly. Because I can only imagine not having to do a liquid diet and then you come out of surgery and it's like, whoop, can't eat anything. You got to drink everything.
Right.
I was so serious about my diet because my doctor, like I told you before, my surgeon, he was like, look, if you cheat on this liquid diet, I will know. And I will cut you open and realize that your liver has not shrunk at all. And I will close you back up and you will not have a surgery. And I was like,
oh shit.
Wow.
He was like, so you're going to do it, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I was so serious about this liquid diet that I only had to have 3 incisions versus 5. Like, he was like, your liver, I don't even know where it is. Like, you did great. And I'm like,
what liver?
Yeah, because you scared the hell out of me. So of course I did.
I feel like that should be a norm though. Like, if you do not follow this, I will not do your surgery, because you can tell. Like you said, like you only had 3 instead of 5. And I was very like, I was the same way. I was like, I will not cheat on this. Like my husband was amazing and did the whole diet with me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it was, well, because I asked him, I was like, will you do this with me? Because I didn't know if I could stick to it if he wasn't with me. I mean, I'm sure I would have. But
you're strong.
I am strong. I'm much stronger now than I was back then. I thought for sure I would be cheating. But we also got rid of everything in the house. Yeah. So there was nothing.
See, that's what I didn't do. I was still like cooking dinner for like my family. I was still cooking for the kids. I mean, I went to Sam's Club and bought all this protein stuff, all this water stuff. And I feel like the first day of your liquid diet, like you're excited. So you're super motivated. So it's like, yeah, I'm about to do this. I'm going to kill it. And then like the second day, I'm like, okay, fuck this shit. I have a headache. Like my head hurts. It's pounding, you know, but I just kept pushing. And I think I could have Jello, which is gross to me. So I didn't have Jello, but I could have like sugar-free popsicles. Jello, like what is Jello? Like, can we even like
really? I don't like the fact that it jiggles.
Why is it jiggling?
Yeah, why do you need to jiggle?
Well, and it comes from horses' hoofs. Like, why are we eating that?
Hoofs. There you go.
Hoofs.
Why are we eating that? Like, I just feel like it's a person. Why are you jiggling?
Yeah, so, why are you waving to me? I don't understand you. It's like soup. I don't understand soup.
Yeah. Oh, you and soup.
Why is it's a liquid and a solid? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah. We don't eat soup.
We don't eat soup.
We don't eat soup, clearly. But yeah, so I could have water, I could have broth, and like with my broth, I would like season my broth up, like make curry broth. Like I would do all type of things to make different broths and everything. So that kind of made it a little bit easier for me. I had my water, Crystal Light. I couldn't. I can do it. I could do it for my liquid diet, but I cannot do Crystal Light now. I'm disgusted by it.
Too sweet, or is it?
I'm just sick of it from drinking it for 2 weeks straight. Like it just makes me vomit every time I think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my family's weird about that. Like they only want fruit punch. And I have to buy 3 things at a time because I think I've gotten out Winco at this point. Because every time I go, like it's every other week that they have it or don't have it. And I'm like, sorry guys, there's no fruit punch. I think we've bought it all. I don't know what's going on. Like,
those sugar-free packets are really good. Like they love really good. I'm like, how does this not have sugar in it?
Yeah.
It's confusing to me. I'm like, what the fuck did you do?
There are sometimes when we review something and Melanie's like, I don't understand. How do you not have sugar and you taste this good? What is going on?
Yeah. Chalk, was it?
Chalk Zero.
Chalk Zero. I told him, I was like on the live. I'm like, will you message me or show us behind the scenes? Because I am so confused right now.
And sometimes the sugar-free packets are like sweeter than the actual drink that has sugar in it.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. I don't get it.
We have to do some research on that, girls.
Yes. Before
on that.
Before we go to our Vegas trip.
Because it's probably all still bad. Like if we're being honest, it's probably all still bad.
I mean, really, in reality, anything that does not come from an animal or from the ground
or from the earth,
from the earth, it's probably not good for us. But
I mean, that seems about right. Anything man-made is pretty fucked up. So
I mean, we have cheese that is one ingredient from plastic. Like we should probably not be eating this shit.
Yeah,
but we will continue to buy it and eat it.
Seriously,
right?
Reality.
They fuck up everything. It's fine. We should just eat what Mother Nature gave us. And we'll be fine.
But then something pops up in the grocery store and you're like, you know what? Some chips sound really good right now.
Yeah, they do. They totally do.
So my goal, I'm going to try hopefully a vegetarian lifestyle after the new year.
Whoa.
That's what I said to myself. But yeah,
you can do it.
That's a
bitch.
Yeah.
I've tried it.
I think as long as you know that you can do it, you'll succeed because
I don't know if it's going to be like a forever thing. It may be like for a couple of weeks. We'll just see. But
if it's just like VSG though, you just have to prep for it. Like because now you're eating a whole different groups of food that you have to make sure you can find. But once you prep for it, you're totally fine. Because I've done it. It's just I started craving like meat. I was just like, I just want food. I just want something to chomp on.
We are definitely meat eaters.
Yeah, it's a problem.
But they do have a lot of options now.
Yeah, they have a lot of options of vegan. Because my husband lasted longer than I did. I was like a couple of weeks, and he lasted like months.
I think you have to research and find like there's so many different recipes. There's so many different ways like that you can be successful at trying to be vegetarian or vegan. So, but I was a big meat eater too. Like I used to love a good steak, cooked medium.
Yep,
medium.
But now I can't. My tummy, my sleeve just can't handle it.
Oh, that's a sad day. We love steak. I have a hard time sometimes with chicken. And I think it's because it's easily overcooked.
Right.
That I just like, there's sometimes where I'm just like, oh.
I made myself laugh in my head. I was like, I can make you a moist chicken.
That's what she said.
Don't worry about it.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
I like
it. So we woke up in surgery. You were kind of feeling like you got hit by a bus. How long did it take for you to kind of normalize?
So my surgery was outpatient. So I was only in the hospital for 24 hours of that. I left the next morning.
Okay.
I was back walking around probably about maybe 4 or 5 days after surgery. At the time I lived on the 3rd floor, I had a 3rd floor apartment. So after 3 or 4 days, I was like down the steps, walking around. I was really concerned about like blood clots and everything. I did have to, I forgot the name of the drug, but I did have to inject myself with blood thinners.
Oh.
They do that for everybody, just to prevent any type of possibility or concerns with blood clots. But I was up and walking around probably about after 4 days. But, the pressure on my chest from anesthesia lasted for a while. Like I was out of breath and could barely really speak for about a week or two.
Oh, dang.
Damn.
And they were like, oh, it's normal. It's okay. And I'm like, okay. Because I guess there was still fluid in my lungs from the anesthesia.
Oh, did they have you do the like breathing thing where you breathe?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to do that. And, I had a home nurse, which was really great because she had what's the other one? RNY?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was like really great with helping me and like pushing me, telling me what I needed to do. So yeah, she was really good.
How did you get hooked up with a nurse, man? That's awesome.
I know.
Insurance. They give you a home health nurse for about a week.
What?
Dang, girl, you got some hella awesome insurance.
Yeah, you got up. Seriously. I'm like, where was my nurse?
Seriously.
She would come, she would give you my injection. She'd be like, you need help getting in the shower. Like we would go for walks. Like she was like my friend for a good 2 weeks.
I like that. That would have been so helpful.
Right? Because when you're like first out of it, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like
at all.
You're like faking it hardcore because you're like, yeah, I got this. Right?
Yeah.
I'm doing great, right?
I got it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Because you could barely drink anything. Like she would give me the like a NyQuil cup, like a medicine, and she would fill up like 5 of them with Gatorade or water, and she would be like, "Okay, so your goal today is to drink this within an hour and a half."
Oh,
and I'd be like, "Oh, okay," and that's pretty much what we do. We would make it a game. Like I was like an infant for that whole 2 weeks.
I should give my husband some props because that's actually what he did with me. He filled up the little Dixie cups. And he's like, all right, you got to finish this, like, by the time the show's over. So figure it out. And I was like, okay.
You need that support. I mean, because the last thing you want to do is being, like, fresh out of surgery and having to go back to the hospital because you're dehydrated. Who wants to do that?
That was my biggest fear. I did not want to have to go and deal with dehydration. So I drank as much as I possibly could. And I had timers set every half hour. I was either drinking, half hour before, half hour after, but it was basically like every half hour.
Yeah.
You were doing either drinking a protein shake or drinking water because
it was exhausting. I was like, oh my God, I feel like that's all I do now.
It's a full-time job.
It is.
Seriously.
Like,
even now,
that is your new life.
Even now, because it's not like you can take I can't crush a whole bottle of water. It's not like I can gulp down a whole bottle of water. So even now, it's still a process.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wish that I could though. Just to get it out of the way.
Drink
just chug a whole 64-ounce bottle in one sitting.
I know. I've had sometimes I put too much water in my mouth and then I'll swallow and then I'm like holding it and then I swallow and then it's crazy. The new life that we live.
Yeah. That's what I do. And when I explain that on the podcast, I have to preface with that's what she said.
Oh my God.
That's what she said.
That's what she said so long ago.
I know, but that's how I drink water is like I take a big gulp and then I hold it in my mouth and swallow little bits at a time.
Because that water hurts if you get full. Like if it's too much in your stomach, like it really hurts.
I get pukey if I drink too much.
Oh,
I'll get nauseous and then I'm like, okay, breathe.
Stand up. I just do the whole like hands over
the head. Stand up, hands over the head.
So you guys go. I'm gonna have to try that. So you guys go like this.
Yeah, because like football players, like that's what they do to not be dizzy anymore. So I was like, okay, let's just do this.
Or if you eat too much, like you always got to push that line, and like you're like, oh, we'll just have one more bite, and then you're like, ah, shit.
Yep.
Shouldn't have done that. I stand up and I put my arms up.
Yeah.
And it kind of.
I'm gonna have to try that because I know like recently I ate, but I was full. I didn't eat too much, but I took a glass of wine, maybe like a sip of wine, and that set me over. But what trips me out for me is that like the feeling of having to throw up doesn't come up until like 30 minutes later. So I think I'm safe. I'm like, oh, okay, I did good. And then like all of a sudden, like your mouth starts getting watery.
I hate that.
And then I go through the whole process of trying to regurgitate and then nothing comes out. Like, it's so weird.
I don't actually vomit.
Yeah.
Like you just sit there in that
like dry heaving.
Yes. It's so dumb.
You just get to sit in that pain, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the price you pay for taking that extra drink.
For doing entirely too much. That's what, but you know what? Like for me, because it happened recently and I'm a year and some months out, it was like, oh wow, like my tool still works. Like I'm still good.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm so thankful for you, little tummy.
I'm so thankful for you, little tummy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, because you did 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, right? And
yes.
And then it was, did your purees and soft foods kind of blend together or were they separate for you?
They kind of blended together because I wasn't pureeing anything. Like I was like, well, I'm not an infant. So I pretty much was like,
that's what I felt like. I get it.
Like mashed potatoes, like salmon, like mashed it up like really good. So it kind of just ran together.
Okay. What was your first like solid food?
I think it was salmon.
Salmon.
My first solid food was salmon. Well, I take that back. My first solid food was a piece of chicken because I was being naughty and it was just, I broke and I ate a piece of chicken and I regretted it because I was so sick.
Oh.
It was way before I was supposed to be on solid foods. So my first real solid food was salmon.
Okay. Gotcha.
And salmon's a good one because it's so soft.
Right.
That your stomach can handle it.
Yeah, like really flaky and stuff.
Yeah. It's cooked right.
If I was gonna say if it's cooked right.
Yeah, then it's flaky and it's soft and it's yummy and delicious.
You're just gonna have to eat here more. I feel like there's something going on with your food, your salmon.
First it was the chicken, it was the salmon.
I have overcooked. I've learned my lesson on overcooking things.
Okay,
so because I'll walk away or
you can't walk away.
I know it's because I get distracted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'll do this. And then it all goes downhill from there.
I love it.
Yeah.
What was your first NSV? Do you remember? The first one?
Crossing my legs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love it.
That was like crossing my legs naturally, like not having to pick up my leg and then like being out of breath, like literally just crossing my legs was my first NSV. I was like, wow, this is so awesome.
I cross my legs all the time now. Like it's weird when I don't. Yeah. Like even right now I'm sitting with my legs crossed. Like
sometimes like if I'm at a restaurant and I'm sitting at the table, I'll be like, oh, okay, let's try and see if I can fit with my legs crossed under the table. Okay, so I failed miserably at that at one restaurant recently, but I was like, that's not my fault. The table is just really low.
It's too low because I can do it at every other table.
Yeah, right. No, that's a deal. I remember my mom pointed it out because I actually didn't realize like I was doing it. She was like, you can cross your legs. And I was like, I guess I can because I can do it in the car now. Like I don't just like sit normal. I'm like, oh yeah, I can move around, do whatever I want. Like this is nuts.
Yep. I love crossing my legs. It's weird when you're at the salon and they're cutting your hair and you have to sit like with your feet flat so that they can see it even. And I'll always go to cross my legs and I'm like, oh, sorry. I'm just used to it now.
Yeah. And I mean, I love, like, it's so like feminine. I love crossing my legs. Like, I feel like it's just such a feminine, like boss, like, hey, my legs are crossed, are yours? Like that type of thing.
Did you feel more feminine as like this progression has happened?
Yes. I definitely feel more feminine as as throughout my whole journey, especially like with me being in a better space. I'm a lot softer, just the way that I carry myself. I mean, I've always been like a girly girl, but definitely like in the way I sit, like, how I am emotionally, I definitely feel a lot more feminine. I was going to say another NSB is painting my toenails, even though I normally I'm the type to get my nails and my feet done. But of course, during quarantine, who was at the salon? Not me, not you. Yeah. So painting, like being able to bend over and paint my toes and not feel like I'm about to die.
That's awesome feeling.
I was gonna say cut my toenails, like because before it was like I could not, like I had to take breaks.
Yeah.
So like I would cut a few and then I'm like like it hurt. And so now it's like like you said, like you just kneel down, do your thing. And yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
That's a good one.
It's like
painting your toenails is major.
Wrapping the towel around you.
That's my
yes.
Yeah.
Every time I see that. Yep.
Yeah. It was the towel and the collarbone for me.
Oh yeah. Collarbone.
And the last one was fitting into Eric's clothes.
Yes.
Because he's just the biggest meat. Like we're both same height, but he's like always been like $150. And so I've always been bigger. Like I think I met him when I was at like 190, like 200 pounds. So
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Like now, like he accidentally put on my jeans. I was gonna tell you about this. When she was gone, like he went to go grab a pair of jeans and he's like, I wonder why this fit weird. But like I'm wearing your jeans and they fit me just fine. And I was like, you can wear them out if you want to. And he's like, no, I'm not wearing your jeans outside. I was like,
wearing girl jeans.
Whatever, man.
Nobody would know.
No, and they're Levi's, so it's like you're totally fine. You can leave with those on. So and that's why they got confused because we both wear Levi's.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn. All right. So I am smaller because that's a good reality check for me because I'd be like, so big. And I'm like, oh, wait, no. Me and Eric wear the same pair of clothes. Like there's no way.
Well, they share clothes. Like they share shirts and sweaters. Yeah, it's so cute.
I have like a whole new wardrobe. It's so awesome.
And then I bring my clothes over and I'm like, hey, you want this?
Yep.
You want this?
So I have a good mix of Eric and Kelly of clothes. It's great.
Yes.
So.
Well, that's perfect. You don't have to buy any.
Even though you still will, because it's an addiction.
It's an addiction. It is.
It's real.
I know that's not my addiction. That's fine. That's definitely yours.
Yeah, I like to buy stuff.
I like buying clothes. It's like, yes. And then once I finally get it, because you know all this drama that we spoke about before, trying to decide what size you wear. Once I get it and I fit it, I'm like, yes.
Yes. I love buying clothes. It makes me feel like I've made progress. And like when you see that even though the number on them isn't like as important like as how you look or how you feel in it, but you'll see that number like a size 9 and it just makes your day.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yes, I've worked so hard for this. So yeah. Or like the medium, small.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I love it.
Medium, small. I'm definitely medium. I'm a small because my friend actually made a couple of sweaters for me and I was like, oh, this is a small. I was like, really? It fits? Oh, okay, great.
You're like, awesome. Yeah, there's sometimes where I see extra small and I'm like, there's no fucking way that's gonna fit.
And then it does.
And then it does. And
but
I'm like,
sometimes it does. Yeah. It depends on like the material, like the stretch.
It does. I mean, because sometimes if I want a little bit more looser, I buy medium. If I want a little bit tighter, I buy an extra small. So it's like you can play with it too.
You totally can. That's what's fun about clothes, I guess.
Yeah. Dressing up.
Dressing down. So what was like the biggest thing you learned through this process?
I would definitely say like how to eat and also learning myself, because learning that I had a food addiction, learning that I'm actually pretty disciplined, you know, like you go your life thinking that you're just completely one way and then certain things happen and it's like, wow. So I've learned that I'm disciplined. Learning food groups was definitely major for me. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but like I said before, I did not know a lot of food groups and like learning how to eat, learning how certain food affects you. That was one of the most amazing things that I learned, and learning that I'm resilient and I'm extremely disciplined. Like if I put my mind to something, because food was my weakness. So I didn't know that this would like obesity and like food addiction would be something that I would be able to overcome. So I would say those are the two things that I learned about myself.
That's awesome. I like that.
What would be your biggest advice for newbies?
To take your time, be patient with yourself. I get so many DMs about stalls, about I'm 2 months out and I've only lost 60 pounds. I'm like, girl, that's amazing.
Yeah. Take the win.
You think you would have lost 60 pounds if you didn't have this surgery? So what I always say is just be patient. You're going to lose weight regardless, especially in the beginning. You're going to lose weight. So be patient with yourself and just trust the process.
Yes. Love that. Trust the process.
Well, and you have a small business, is that what I understand? Or you're a baker?
Do. I know. Yes,
tell
I
us
am,
about that.
I feel like it's so jacked up because I'm talking about eating better and I'm in here baking apple pie and sweet potato pie. But I do have gluten-free options available for you.
That's awesome.
Yes, so I do. Right now it's just sweet potato pie and apple pie. I'm thinking about adding I'll definitely begin adding more sweets to, or different pies and cakes to the menu. But yes, so I do. It's called Prissy Pies, Prissy Pies. That is paying homage to my grandmother, who was like the matriarch of our family. She was a cooker. Like, she would burn out a stove. Like, she had to get a new stove every year.
Oh, wow.
And like, just baking and cooking was just the way that we brought our family together, the way that the community came together. So that's why I named it after her. But yeah, so I have a small business, Prissy Pies. We bake pies, cater. I just had like a really big order of 80 pies. One of a realtor that I know, she, well, I knew her friend, but she wanted to gift pies to all of her clients that just purchased a home. So she called me like, hey, can you bake these pies? So that was my first really, really big order, which was like really dope. I made it through Thanksgiving. Now I'm just trying to get to Christmas and fill out those orders too.
Yay, that's so exciting.
Do you think if you didn't have VSG that you'd be doing this?
No, I think if I didn't have VSG, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't be doing. I wouldn't even have the platform that I have. I feel like VSG was like a little pat on the ass, like, girl, go. You've been complacent too long. You've been humble too long. Like, this is your time. So VSG just kind of like helped me find my voice, helped me realize that it's okay for me to be bubbly and kind of quirky and be confident. Like, it just really changed my life. It just gave me a little push, like, this is you. This is your moment. Let's go.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I don't think we could have said it better ourselves.
No, not at all. Is there anything you want to add before we let you go?
I just want everybody to be their best selves. And if you are thinking about having VSG, do it. Don't do it for anybody but yourself. Don't do it for a relationship. Don't do it for a man. Don't do it for a girlfriend. Don't do it for anyone but yourself, because at the end of the day, you have to be happy with yourself and happy with your position, with, the decisions that you make. And also be patient with yourself. Like I said before, all these messages I get about people think they're supposed to have the surgery and lose 100 pounds in a day.
Right.
It doesn't happen that way. Like, stay encouraged. Find people in the VSG community, whether that is online, whether that is at a local hospital. There's a lot of support groups. Like, just make sure you have someone in your corner to push you.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. I had a ball.
So much fun.
Yeah. No, it's so funny how alike we all are.
I know. I'm telling you, once we get this VSG meetup, y'all, it's going to be so lit.
Yeah, we're doing it in Vegas, 100%.
That's happening.
Definitely Vegas, and we're going to act the fool. They're going to be like, Vegas is like, these VSG people came down here after they have no sense.
Acting like a fool.
Well, before I let you go, actually, we should probably talk about the alcohol thing, because you are drinking wine. I drink tequila.
I drink some. Yeah.
Right.
So I drink wine. I love a good shot of Fireball. I'm a Fireball girl.
Yeah. So, we are proving here that you can have it. It's just, you have to do the work in the beginning.
Yes.
You have to put the work in. The first year is so important that do not touch alcohol. There's no fucking point. There's no nutrition in it. But afterwards, you can slowly, live your life.
Well, I hate to be the one to say that I was definitely drinking alcohol, like, maybe 9 weeks in. Like, I went to my my surgeon. I was like, yo, when can I start drinking wine? And he was like, you can drink it now in moderation. Like, I think that it has, so I know that it has to do with like the non-nutritional value and everything, but I also think, and the way that he explained it to me, is that it has a lot to do with, of course, we're battling food addiction, right? So then once you have this surgery, you learn, like, food doesn't cut it for you anymore. Like, when you're sad, when you're feeling away, food isn't cutting it. So he's like, a lot of people lean towards alcohol. And unfortunately, a lot of people who have had weight loss surgery, like, become alcoholics, even if they were they never struggled with alcoholism before.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's our biggest concern. So when I started, I mean, nothing happened to me. I was just like, I mean, a glass of wine a day is a must for me.
Hey,
or 2.
Oh, or 2 or 3. You know.
I mean,
depending
I
on the day.
weed every day, so it don't matter. Like that's my wine. So.
Well, and I feel like you.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody kind of finds what their thing is and what they need for that to function. And as long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting anybody else,
do your damn thing.
Do your thing.
Do your thing.
Yeah,
do your thing. But to people who are listening, like, please, if you're going to drink, talk to your surgeon first. The only reason why I did ask my surgeon before I took my first drink because I didn't want to end up sick. I didn't want to end up, messing up my sleeve or anything. So definitely talk to your surgeon before you make the decision to down the bottle.
Love down the bottle.
There we go.
Well, because it's a slippery slope, man.
It is.
If you don't deal with your feelings and the reasons why you've been eating, like, and you're not, if you haven't accepted that you're a foodaholic, then you can definitely do these transfer addictions to gambling and to alcoholism. Like it can be a whole thing.
Yeah. I think you first have to accept that, you did have an addiction and you will still battle with it. But, and once you realize that, I think you can more openly let go of it. Like you did. You realized that you had an eating addiction and you dealt with it and you moved on. So
you have to deal with those things because if you suppress them, they always come back. And like you said, however, transfer addictions, like food's not cutting it for me anymore. So what's gonna, make me feel better?
Yeah. What's gonna numb the feelings?
Yeah, it's the quick
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, girl.
All right.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. I know we have been like waiting to get this together, but thank you guys so much for having me and your patience.
Oh, heck yeah. We're going to do more stuff together.
Yes.
We do some lives and
I love lives. My next live, I'm going to have you guys on it.
All right. Yeah, message
We're
us.
totally down. Totally down. All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.